The Trail of Tears is one of the darkest chapters in American history, a forced march that tore nations from their homelands and scattered them across a continent. But it is also a story of endurance, of people who survived what should have destroyed them. In the early 1800s, 5 great nations lived across the American Southeast: the Cherokee, Creek, Choctaw, Chickasaw, and Seminole. They were known as the 5 civilized tribes, not because they lacked culture before, but because they had adapted, building towns, schools, farms, even written constitutions. The Cherokee printed newspapers in both English and Cherokee syllabary. Their capital, New Echota, was thriving, but the land was valuable, rich soil for cotton, gold in the hills of Georgia. In 1830, President Andrew Jackson signed the Indian Removal Act, claiming it would open new lands for settlers while providing fair relocation west of the Mississippi. In truth, it was ethnic cleansing disguised as law. The Choctaw were the first forced west in 1831. Thousands died of cold, hunger, and disease. One observer called it a trail of tears and death. The phrase stuck. Next came the Creek, Chickasaw, and Seminole. Some Seminole resisted in Florida's swamps, fighting a guerrilla war that lasted years, but the Cherokee tragedy was the most remembered. In 1838, U.S. soldiers rounded up thousands of Cherokee from their homes. Families were herded into stockades. Over 16,000 began the 1,000-mile journey to Indian Territory, present-day Oklahoma. About 4,000 never made it. They died along the road, in freezing rain, in hunger, in grief. Elders, children, warriors, all walked together through what they called Nuna Dul Tsuni, the trail where they cried. Yet even in despair they carried songs, prayers, and the fire of identity. They built new towns in Oklahoma, re-established schools and government, and rebuilt from ashes. The Trail of Tears is not only a story of suffering, it is a reminder of survival, that nations can be broken but not erased. The descendants of those who walked still speak their languages, keep their ceremonies, and tell their stories, proof that culture outlasts cruelty. When we remember the Trail of Tears, we honor not only loss, but endurance. It asks us a question still unanswered. What kind of nation do we become when progress is built on the suffering of others? Sources in description. Subscribe to Warrior and Wisdom for Episode 5, The Code Talkers of WBUA.